All right. Well, I am super excited today. Welcome back to Modern Agent Blueprint. Nikki and I are super excited because we have Drake on today. So Drake and I met back, I don't even know, a couple events ago. We met at an event and hit it off and kind of found each other on social media and have been following each other. And he's doing all kinds of fun stuff on social media. We kind of bond about social media stuff because he gets a lot of business from it. So do I. So I recently just did his podcast. So I was like, I'll do your podcast if you come on Modern Agent Blueprint. So deals were made and here he is. As soon as you start hearing him talk, you're going to realize right away he's from Louisiana. He's got that Southern charm and that smile. I'm going to give you his bio. So he has built a dynamic career over the last 5 years in real estate, specializing in delivering a Southern luxury experience from start to finish. He's a team leader, a content creator, a publisher of a successful magazine. He does Real Producers down there. A lot of us know what Real Producers is. He's dedicated to providing top-tier service for both clients and colleagues. He leads with passion for growth, innovation, and connection alongside his thriving real estate business. Drake hosts the podcast, like I just talked about, where he shares industry insights, personal development tips, and interviews with inspiring entrepreneurs. His brand is centered around elevating every experience with Southern charm and sophistication. Such a good bio. I love it.
Thank you, ChatGPT.
Right? I love it. Well, Drake, thank you for joining us. We're super excited. I'm going to give you co-host because I assume you probably have something for us. So you can share if you have something. But I'm going to hand it over to you. I'm going to let people in. You don't have to worry about doing that. I'll let people in as they flow in, but I'm going to let you take it over from here.
Sweet. Okay. Let's see. I'm trying to use my teleprompter here I want to show y'all.
The technology on this every time. It's always a thing. Oh, here we go.
Can y'all see?
Yep. I see your email.
Wait. Can you see the presentation?
No, I see your email.
Oh, crap.
Hopefully there's nothing worrisome confidential in here.
Okay, hold on one second. Why is it sharing my email?
I'm telling you, it is every time. We have the same problem.
Okay, wait. I think this is it.
I see your Epic coaching.
That is the wrong screen. Wait. Why is it showing this one? Okay, one more time. Funny. Because I have multiple screens open here. Hold on one second. I promise y'all it's worth it when it actually shows up the right one.
I think Zoom changed at some point because it used to just let you share your screen. So whatever screen you had up is what it showed. Now it makes you pick a tab. And I think that when you pick the tab, it's crazy. But don't worry. Brooke will get to edit all this out for us and it'll just be the good stuff. So the people who are on, you get the real view of what happens behind the scenes.
Why is it? What is that showing now?
Your agent portal.
Can you see this?
It just minimized agent portal.
What are y'all seeing now?
That's the same thing. It just minimize agent portal to this small.
Okay, so let's do this. I'm going to turn off the teleprompter. We're going to do everything from my computer screen. So I won't be able to look at the camera, but this may work. Let's see. How's that?
Yes, we got it.
Okay, cool. Sorry, y'all. I was trying to be fancy and apparently Zoom didn't want me to. So, all right. So here's the presentation. All right. Social media strategies, right, for 2024. First, I always like to start with just like a visualization of like, what do you imagine, right? When you think of yourself and your business in the future. If you stop for a second and say, what would social media do for me and for my business personally? Like, how could it truly transform the things that I'm doing and have a steady flow of actually business, a brand that people know immediately, and really change your entire perspective or your trajectory of your business, because it is a form of prospecting, whether people want to recognize that or not. But who am I? I know she already gave you guys some insights, but the only reason why I feel like I even have any kind of leg into talk about social media is I was voted top agent in Lafayette on social media by Property Spark in 2022. I was recognized actually in Inman magazine online for the top 23 realtors to follow on TikTok in 2023. I'm a certified luxury home marketing specialist, a real estate mentor, team leader, social media influencer since 2011. I've grown multiple channels over the years and different accounts, and I've grown over 5 accounts across all platforms with over 1 million interactions. So not to brag, but just helping you guys kind of understand my experience and where I kind of come from with everything. But overall, here's the overview of the agenda that we're going to go over. We're going to go over the who, the why, and the how, right? So many people are searching for homes online. They look at, your presence, they look at everything about you. So this is why social media is pivotal to business, right? So understanding why we need social media and why it's so important for you. So I threw some fun statistics in here that I think are very educational for a lot of people to understand when you're working with different types of platforms and things. So we know for a fact that homeowners are searching for homes online, right? 97% in 2019, all the way up to 100% of people are actually going online to find listings, to find their realtor, right? To connect with potential buyers or sellers. You can reach a very wide audience, more so than any other way of marketing, right? And your goal is to increase your visibility of not only your properties, but the services that you provide. Now, what makes it unique is I actually built my business off of cold calling when I first started. FSBOs, expires, that was the way I did my business. But now I do really a hybrid version of that, right? So I still do cold calling and all of that, layered in now with all of this other type of prospecting, which is social media. Social media is prospecting while you sleep. That's what people forget, right? So if I make a YouTube video, I make a TikTok video, any of those things, they could go viral or they could do really, really well. I can get comments, I can get DMs from people that want to work with me all while I'm sleeping. And of course, referrals from other realtors. I wanted to put some interesting statistics for you guys. So social media networks used for real estate business. So 96% of homeowners, right, are finding their dream home online. But this shows you that almost half of home buyers begin their search online, right? So nearly all home buyers use the web at some point, right? And this kind of shows you the statistics, right, of each and every platform that people are using nowadays. Now, this statistics is from 2022, but you can obviously decide that social media has continued to grow, so it's probably even stronger now.
I
But
want to know what those other 4% of people are. How are they finding houses?
right, exactly, like the
Where are they
newspaper.
getting them?
So 87% of home buyers still choose to hire a real estate agent. So I would say with the NAR settlement and everything that we've been seeing lately, we are actually increased in value, I think, just because things have gotten more complicated. Everything's more litigious nowadays. So the beautiful thing is if people are at an all-time high of relying on real estate agents, then it should be an all-time high for you to be branding yourself, right? And to be out there on social media and getting in front of people, showing them that you are a professional, right? So 73% of homeowners are likely to list with a real estate agent who uses video to sell property. 73%, right, are more impressed by people, agents who are putting video online. That is so important, guys. That is a huge statistic. That basically says if you are not using video in your properties, in marketing yourself, you are losing, right? You are losing so much business compared to most realtors who are doing it. Only 47% of realtors feel confident about their social media skills. That is scary. Half That's pretty much half of real estate agents say they're not even confident in their social media skills, and how important and pivotal it is, right, to connecting with people nowadays. In 2023, the majority of real estate agents use social media to promote their business. It says 57% of realtors use social media daily. 46% of realtors agree that social media was the best tool for generating quality leads, right? So business is happening every single day. This I also thought was some really interesting statistics, because I think this is important also for you guys to know, is the demographics for each platform and what you're looking at. So 18 to 29 years old is Snapchat. You got TikTok and you got Instagram. So there's your young crowd, right? Heavy on those platforms. 30 to 39. Do you think that this is possible to be a stronger home buyer, right? They're more likely, I would say, in 30 to 39 to be home buyers or home sellers. So LinkedIn, Twitter, Snapchat, Instagram, right? Notice here, 40 to 49, likely to be a second home buyer or seller or luxury, right? When we get into these, LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, Pinterest. Pinterest, I thought, was an interesting one. Notice here, 41% of Americans with a household over 100K use Pinterest. Oh, I think I put that one in here twice. My bad. TikTok is the fastest growing among baby boomers. I thought this was interesting. So I went to the doctor's office recently, or if you check and watch people that are scrolling or like what they're doing on their phones, I've seen some very, very old people, very surprisingly, like scrolling through TikTok, right? Like my mom, I know, uses TikTok. She sends me videos all the time about how terrible my health is and the things that I eat, right? So I mean, and she's in her late 50s. Like, I know those are the people that are looking at those things, right? And they see what's happening. Now, let's see, where was the other one? Oh, LinkedIn. Yeah, look, 53% of US adults who earn over 100K use LinkedIn. You think adults making over 100K would be good for buying and selling properties, right? So think about those demographics and where you're posting things.
Do you, Drake, I'm sorry to interrupt you. Do you do anything on LinkedIn? Or are you mainly like your main like Instagram and TikTok?
I do them all, actually. So I have YouTube, I have Instagram, I have LinkedIn, I have Facebook. Is that all of them? TikTok. Yep. So it's 5. Yep.
You just like
I,
cross post, or are you going to get to that? I don't want to interrupt your whole thing. I'm just
no,
curious.
yeah, I do cross post pretty much. What I try to do is stagger content. There's some content that performs better in other areas, but I try to be creative and come up with different ideas and different types of things. So for instance, like short form, really like poppy and exciting content is not really like LinkedIn's brand. Like
Right.
they really love like carousels, educational posts, like things that are a bit more serious because it's a lot of business people on there. You could do testimonials, or you can do property tours and things of that nature. But I would say if you can just educate, that is going to be one of your biggest tickets for a platform like LinkedIn. But anything like, testimonials you get from clients or things like that. I've even posted some fun videos just to see how they perform. But for the most part, I don't feel like that's the brand for LinkedIn.
Yeah. And
But
oh, I'm sorry, Nikki had a question in the chat. She said, where do you, when you were talking about video, how
Mhm.
about people posting videos? She said, where do you feel like the best place to post a video since you can't post them on Zillow?
You mean property tour videos?
Yeah.
Yeah, property tour videos would be Instagram and TikTok for sure. I would say is probably your 2 top, but you can even post it to YouTube Shorts as well. And I would even venture to post them onto LinkedIn. Why not? They're business people, and property tours are pretty like more, I would say, on brand for LinkedIn. So why not? They hire income users. I've never been a Pinterest, but I thought the statistics were very interesting on that one. And I thought about maybe getting my VA to start posting some stuff on Pinterest just to see what that looks like. I've heard of some realtors actually having success with Pinterest. I guess I'm not really a Pinterest person, so maybe that's why I haven't been so interested in it. But reviewing all these statistics again and kind of looking at everything has made me kind of question, maybe I should, be involved in Pinterest as well and layering that in there.
Yeah, we had somebody on before, and I followed her. She does a lot on Pinterest, and she's got boards like this would be like we could all do something similar. She doesn't, it's not just property tours and all that. She's got like, best places to go have dinner, best places with kids, all those different things in different boards for different cities. So
Yeah.
that's kind of how she's using Pinterest and then posting those listing videos and those other things too.
Yeah, no, I love that. And we're going to get into some of the types of content that you guys can post in a bit. I want to talk about establishing your brand identity and consistency across platforms and how important that is. I love to ask this question because I get a few different responses, but what is a brand? Anybody want to chime in?
Nobody? Julie, I'm going to pick on you. What would you consider a brand?
I don't know. It's just what people think about when they say your name. Like it's not just logo. It's your values, what you stand for, what you represent,
There you
who
go.
you are. I don't know. Is that good, Drake?
Yes. Yeah. No, that's
Get in
amazing. So I love to use the example of Ford. So when you think of a Ford truck, what is their brand? What do you think of?
Built Ford Tough.
Yep, exactly. See how she knew that immediately? It's not that it's American made, but the fact that it's built Ford Tough. What do they do in all of their videos? They're dropping these tons of bricks in the back, and you watch this, the back end of it's going over these rocks, and it's American made, built Ford Tough. That's the idea of their brand, right? So there's so many different trucks, but see how they have said, this is what we are though, and this is what we sell, right? Coca-Cola. Right? There are a million. I just realized I misspelled Coca-Cola. There are a million different soda drinks out there, right? What does Coca-Cola sell? They don't sell a Coke. They sell happiness, open happiness, right? So they show visions of people at the movies with friends. They show people at the beach hanging out, riding bikes, doing all these fun things together, right? It's happiness. It's not just a drink. What does Apple sell? Everybody knows that Apple barely changes anything and they get you to buy the brand new iPhone like I just did, right? It's because they sell you a vision of what the product is, right? It's cool if I have an Apple product because it syncs with everything. They're sleek, they're sophisticated, right? It fits a professional type lifestyle, right? There's an image or something that feels like I'm better than the other brands if I happen to own an Apple product, right? So I ask you this question: what does your brand say about you and who are you speaking to? Because it's so much more than just colors, right? Now, I wanted to show you guys this just so you can kind of see across my platforms, you can recognize what is my page and whether or not you found actually who I am because I'm consistently across all of them. The same profile picture, the same logos, the same branding, the same colors. Everything across each platform looks the same for consistency. That way, when someone finds me on another platform, they don't have to question whether or not that's my page because I have consistency of brand, right? And that is so important. Changing your profile picture all the time and changing this and changing that and your colors and not really knowing what your brand is just very confusing and people do not know you. And that's the whole idea is you want them to get to know you consistently for something specific. I love this saying, if I'm speaking to everyone, I'm speaking to no one. What does that mean in social media? Anybody got thoughts on that?
That you have too broad of a reach. You're not really like niching in.
Yep. Yep. And that's the problem is people get scared with niches because they think to themselves, oh my God, if I say I'm just going to speak to this one person, like working moms, or I'm just going to speak to, young professionals or elderly, that no one else is going to do business with me. And that's the only people. Well, that is not true because I have a specific way that I brand myself and I have all types of properties that I sell, right? People are going to reach out to you, whether they like you, right? Just because they like who you are, what you offer. It's just that when you really niche down, then you really start to speak to those people and they feel like, man, I really connect with this person, right? And that's the whole idea. So optimize your social platforms for maximum impact. So who is my target audience? Am I trying to speak more to buyers? Am I trying to speak to sellers, investors, senior, luxury, first-time home buyers, renters, right? Those are all different types. So you need to think about what are their pain points. And what you want to do is identify them and then you solve them in the content that you create. Okay. And that's what a lot of people forget when they're making content is they don't really have a strategy behind what they're doing. They're just posting a bunch of random stuff, right? Talking about buyers, talking about sellers one day, talking about this, talking about that, right? So if I start to think about, okay, what are the pain points of a investor, right? Is it finding and locating off-market properties, using the right kind of calculators to figure out what's a good deal? Where are the best neighborhoods to invest in? Right? You start answering those questions and solving those pain points for that person, and that person is going to gravitate toward you. Right? And that's the idea. And if you're out of ideas of how to answer those questions, you go to ChatGPT and you say in your prompt to ChatGPT, I need you to be a content writer for me for social media. This is my target audience. Right? And I need you to list as many pain points that you can think of for my target audience. Right? And it's going to spit out as many pain points as it'll spit out. And then you're going to say, all right, I want you to create questions out of those pain points that those people would have. Right? It's going to spit out a bunch of questions and you can put in 40, 50, whatever that you want. And then now you can start to create content answering all of those questions and that pain point. Right? Create an avatar. What is an avatar? Well, an avatar is your so-called personal client. The more you can identify exactly who that person is, create their persona, then the more easy it's going to be for you to create content that really speaks to that one person, right? So where do they live? What kind of lifestyle do they have? What kind of job do they have? What are their common, routines or things that go throughout their day? Where are they at in their life? Are they moving up to a next home? Or are they buying their first home? Or are they trying to figure out whether to sell their home and invest, right? What are their common, pitfalls? Just create everything you can about what type of person that is. And then it's going to become so much easier for you to create content that speaks to them. What do you guys think is the number one key to growing a strong audience?
Consistency.
Huh?
Consistency.
Beautiful. Boom. Nailed it. Consistency of posting, consistency of brand, consistency of identity, and consistency of who the target audience is. All right. So identity is so important, I think, guys, because a lot of people, they forget who they are on social media and it becomes so boring. Like I see that happen all the time. And I'm going to show you guys some examples of that coming up. But how many times a week or a day do you think you need to post?
Often.
How often do you think those
Well, are we talking about like a actual post or like a story?
Either one?
I mean, I would say stories at least 5 to 10 a day and post at least a few times a week.
Yep.
Like 3 to 4 times a week is what
I try to post daily.
Yeah. It really just depends on the platform. There's no right or wrong answer with all of that. But I think the importance is that you show up consistently, and quality is more important than quantity, but quantity improves quality. Does that make sense? The more often you get consistent with posting, you're going to get better. You're going to watch yourself. You're going to start to see little weird quirks that you have when you're shooting videos. You're going to start to see what is your audience engaging with the most, right? And start to push into more of that content, right? So that's the whole idea, is that the more that I start to post, the better I'll get. And you don't really have to worry so much about like the quality as in the beginning, but just give it some time. It's going to get better. And if you want to feel better about yourself, I want to show you guys the difference of just a year of the things that I learned about like lighting, background, subtitles, like all of that stuff, right? Look at the difference here. I got a microphone. I figured out better lighting. I got a different haircut. I grew a beard. But those are just like personal choices. But notice these don't look, this looks cheap and harsh to me, whereas this looks much more inviting and on brand, right? For my colors and everything that I have. Now, I'm not saying that you guys need to go out and get a fancy light and you need to get all of these different things, but there are really easy ways to light a room correctly and to set everything to where it's much more pleasing to the eyes and it will look so much better, right? And it's things like understanding 3-point lighting, like what I have here right now is there. I have a key light. I have a light off to the side, and then I have one off that's flashing over my shoulder, but you don't need all three. You can even make a video just simply facing a window, which gives you nice and pleasing lighting, right? But understanding lighting is important because it can make the difference of your video looking real harsh and you looking pale and gross versus like more calm and inviting. What types of content should I post? These are all different types of content that you can post. And I mean, there's a million different things that you can do, right? Facts, you can talk about data, hot news topics are great. Finding humor. I love to do funny posts. People seem to really gravitate to those and they're fun for me to make. I just shot a funny one yesterday that I'm going to be posting and they seem to do well. People share them. They like them. They, they find their humor. The problem is though, is that those should only be sprinkled in. My content shouldn't be completely revolving around just like humor because it doesn't really show a buyer or a seller or my target audience that I know how to educate or that I actually know things about real estate. It just shows them that I'm funny and my personality is that maybe you'll laugh when you hang out with me. But storytelling is a great one. I think people don't do this enough, is tell stories. So something that I think is so much more important than just posting a just sold is why don't you tell us how you sold it, right? If you were the listing agent, you know there was probably a problem or something that happened with negotiations, inspections, how you got the listing, where did the seller come from, what did they love about you? Like, why don't you tell us about it in a story versus just like doing a graphic post that most people are probably just going to swipe past, right? If you have a video and if you're a great storyteller or if you can find a humorous side to telling these stories, much more engaging, right? Inspiration, motivation, mindset, being vulnerable. Some of my best videos that I performed on TikTok have actually been me talking about the fact that I deal with depression and anxiety, and I've gone with therapy. I've talked about how men, I don't think, talk enough about the fact that we're not allowed to be vulnerable or have feelings. And that's the reason why suicide rates are higher in men, right? Because we are supposed to be strong and confident all the time and not allowed to, have breakdowns or feel sad. Right. So these are conversations that people want to get involved in. And when people see that stuff, they don't automatically go, well, that's not on brand. Like, he's a real estate agent. What the heck is he doing? No, they see this piece of content and they go, oh my God, this realtor is like so like real. Like, he deals with the same crap I go through. Like, I love that. Right now I'm connecting with people in a way that makes more sense. If you're a mom, you should be talking about all the time of how hard it is to be a working mom. It doesn't make you look negative. It makes you look like a real person. Like, oh my God, it was so hard getting ready for this listing appointment today while I had the kids. One of them threw up on the floor and I had to clean this up and blah, blah, blah. You see how I just threw in there that I'm a real estate agent without actually being a real estate agent for a second? Right? Stuff like that. I love fashion. I love clothes and stuff like that. Get ready with me for a listing appointment. Get ready with me for a buyer's consultation. Get ready with me for a inspection. I'm wearing shorts. It's hot, right? Like stuff like that is fun and different takes on social media for real estate agents without it feeling like you're just shoving a market update or something down my throat. Another thing that's very underrated, I feel like, is shouting out local businesses or community events. I love to go to like any kind of like new restaurant that's opening or any kind of new experience in the area. And I'll tell you, those are some of my best videos. Like I just posted one about a clothing store and it gets comments. People start asking about it. Oh, where's this store at? Things like that. Like definitely shout out local businesses because here's the thing. The business is most likely going to either collab or post you to their page. So now you've just taken advantage of their audience, right? And now you've also just made a very strong connection with a local business. Right. So now they're looking at you as a professional that like loves the market. You love the community. You're supporting the community, right? You're an active community member. And it can truly help you to start to build your business. So definitely think about what are local businesses that I can reach out to. Now, why should I follow these accounts? That's a question. If you guys saw this account, would you want to follow it? Why not?
Boring. There's no personality. Doesn't look like there's any videos. I mean, the one on the right, at least he's got one picture of himself with somebody, but that's it.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you this. This is not to be harsh or pick on these people, but this is selfish content, right? And nobody likes a selfish creator because all this does is brag about me. Think about that for a second. That's all this does. This doesn't add value to my life at all. Like, why would I follow them just to see how much money they're making? Because that's all that tells me. Like, if I know real estate agents make 3% and you're posting, I just sold 300,000, 500,000, 800,000. Like, all I'm doing is sitting here and going, well, congratulations on your $10,000 commission. I'm over here trying to put food on the table. You know what I'm saying? Like, think about that for a second. It's a little sleazy. Right. I even stopped putting the price when I do just solds just for that reason, because I felt like it was just a bit icky. When it's a listing and I'm trying to sell it, put the price. But when it's just sold, I don't really need to talk about what the price of that house was. If somebody's curious, they can ask me or they can go on Zillow. Right. Like, just sold, happy for the clients. I always post a picture with the clients or some type of post that I can do that I was with them, because I feel like their story is more important than mine. I want to shout them out. The emphasis is on them, not me. Tell something funny in the story about, how it worked and all that stuff. Why should I follow you? Well, your page should be 20% business, 80% personal life, hobbies, and interests. Some people may argue with me on this, but I 1,000% stand behind this, that you should be talking more about your personal life, your hobbies, and interests than shoving real estate down my throat, because that makes you so much more interesting. Sprinkle in the real estate stuff. I want to know more about you as a person and the things that you're doing, right? Tell me what you ate today. Did you go to the gym? What did you work out? What did the kids do today? What are you taking them to do this weekend? Any new restaurants in town that you hit up? Like, what are you wearing today? Do you love makeup? What's your favorite makeup brand? Like, did you find a new hairstyling product that you're absolutely in love with? Share it with us. Like, all of those things. Do you kind of see how you can really go any direction? I love fitness. I love mindset. I love motivation. I love books. Like, those are the types of things you'll see sprinkled in on my page. Like, a lot of people really respect me from my fitness side of things because I love to work out. So I'm happy to tell people or show a picture. This is what I'm eating. This is the workout I did today. This is the gym I've been going to. I'm a huge proponent for F45. I love F45. I've actually gotten 3 clients from that gym because I'm all over their page and people know me as like the face of my local F45 because I've done videos there. I take pictures when I go every time. I tag them. Like, when I'm there, I'm like talking to people and getting to know everybody. So get involved in your local community, and I promise it's all going to like synergistically work together to help you to build a stronger brand. Do y'all have any questions? I know we're going to probably have a little Q&A at the end.
I want you to like bust this right now. Dawn just said, my life doesn't seem that exciting. Tell her why she's wrong.
Your life is exciting because I promise you, you have things that are going on, right? That people are interested in. That's the thing. I think people, I want you to stop for a second and imagine you're scrolling through social media and think about the content that you stop on sometimes. Y'all, I'll be laying in bed and I'm watching somebody vacuum their carpet and like dust their cabinets and like restock their fridge. I love watching the videos of the guy who goes and cuts grass.
I love those too.
Think about that for a second, y'all. It like some of the most famous creators that we watch. I don't think you realize how freaking stupid it is. Like, and I don't mean that in like an insulting way. They're literally doing nothing and we're watching them do it every day.
Like those, even like, think about like the videos like the kids watch, like, it's like the silliest little stuff, but same thing, like the rug cleaning videos or like,
yes.
And there's a lot of influencers too, like Amanda Albright, she does selling the suburbs. I have bought so many things because she's been like, oh, this is a great window cleaner. I have it. I bought it because I was like, she's using it and she loves it. I need a window cleaner machine thing. Have I used it? No, but I bought it. But, you know, it's just like things like that. People want to see the things that are happening in the background. So I totally agree with you, Drake. Like we've talked about this before on Modern Agent Blueprint, but like the silliest little things like what's your coffee order? Like putting your coffee order, you know, silly things. Like I posted, all right, I haven't actually posted the video, but me pushing a cart with all the stuff in it that has things for my client event that's coming up, you know, just like things like that. People are interested. People are curious by nature and they want to know what is happening in your world, whether you think that they care or not. Like I know people will be like, I don't want to see what you're eating for lunch. Actually, a lot of people do. Just because that one person said that doesn't mean that 20 others aren't interested in what you put on your turkey sandwich. People
Yep.
are, or what you order at Jimmy John's. People want to know.
Yep. Absolutely. I agree. And when you say your life is boring, I'm like, that's not true. I'm like, because do you make dinner every night or do you go out and pick up dinner every night? Because if you do that, can't you tell me what's the easiest places that you go to pick up a healthy meal for your family? Like, you know, do you use Grubhub or do you have any coupons or have you figured out any like life hacks to get around stuff? Like, there's a million things I promise you're doing every single day that you're just not thinking about showing people. And you'd be surprised with how many people are interested in watching those things.
I will say one thing I love, and this is Drake, you've probably seen this. Most of you probably have. Like I posted a video the other day. Actually, I think it was just a photo that was like my sink full of dishes. And I was like, this is why I DoorDash. And I had so many people message me about that.
It's
But
relatable.
what I should have done was these are the videos or the like stories that I like that it's like tap to do the dishes and then you like tap it and they're gone and the sink's all sparkly.
Love
It's
that.
just more engagement. I love those kind of posts like that. But things like that I'm also really bad at this. I am very bad about documenting my life. I'm very bad about like going to a restaurant and taking videos and taking pictures. I call myself this like social media person and I'm just really bad at that. But things like this, you can train yourself to be better at. You could train yourself on walking out of the store with your, you know, coffee in your hand, like on my way to my showing or on my way to my listing, just got my coffee from Brewed Awakenings and Celine. Have you tried their coffee before? You know, like now we're tagging them, all that stuff. Every time I go to this certain coffee shop, I tag them. They're right in front of the University of Michigan Stadium. I take a picture of it, post it. First of all, it looks super cool because the big stadium's behind it. Second thing, it's cool because I have, you know, the coffee and they're sharing my post. So you can't go wrong.
Yeah. I'm just seeing this question here. I do create most of my videos on my phone. I have a videographer that I'll use for any content that's like out and on the town. But I'll tell you guys, this is the most powerful tool that you have, your phone and a gimbal. I don't know if you guys know what a gimbal is, but literally you can pick one up for 50 bucks on Amazon and it will change your life with your content creation. There's one that I have that extends so I can actually do selfie videos. So I don't even need somebody with me, right, to go and do a video. So I would say the three most important things you need for content creation is get a lapel microphone, very cheap on Amazon, a gimbal, and your actual phone. You have those three things and you are golden for content creation. Like you have no excuse to not be able to do property tours, do selfie videos, like make content in the community, whatever. And like, if you don't know how to use a gimbal, go on YouTube and look up how to use a dang gimbal. Like, don't give me excuses. It is so easy. Just do it. That's the problem is nobody's doing it. Just do it.
Katie
Scripting.
asked, can you share the products? So I'm going to ask Drake if you will send me, I'm going to ask you one of two things. I'm
Yeah.
going to, after this video is done and we're finished, I'm going to post the YouTube link on the page. If
Okay.
I tag you, will you go back and add your links to the three products that you, or the two products that you're recommending? Or if
Yes.
you want to talk about your the lighting situation you have too, that would
Oh
be
boy.
awesome.
Okay.
I know. I mean, you
The
don't have
lights-
to.
So I'll tell you this, guys, don't overwhelm yourself. I have spent probably over $1,000, like probably $3,000 on my studio equipment, but I did that after I knew I am consistent and I am killing it on social media in that aspect. And the fact that I'm all in, that is my prospecting. Like, I don't need to go and buy a bunch of leads. This is how I spend my money for my leads. I upgrade my studio and make it better. So don't feel like you need all of these things. That is excuses. What I just told you, those three things are the only things you need to get started. Because here's the thing, you need to make sure you're going to be consistent. If you know that you have a microphone, you have your gimbal in your phone, if you can be consistent and say for 30 days, I'm I'm going to go and I'm going to make content and post Monday through Friday. I'm going to make some kind of post, right? Gets consistent. Then you can say, I'm going to reward myself by next month by adding another piece of equipment to my studio, right? Rather than going buy all of this stuff and then you're not going to use it. It doesn't make sense, right? Like so many creators go viral and like have amazing followings from just their iPhone and TikTok. Like you don't need all of the crap. Don't fall into that trap. So how long do you guys have to grab someone's attention with a post?
Like a half of a quarter of a second.
Do you see the picture there scrolling? I put that for a reason. That is about how fast all of us make decisions about whether or not we're going to watch somebody, but it's 3 seconds or less.
I was
It's
gonna say, I don't even know if it's 3 seconds. If it doesn't, like if I'm scrolling and it doesn't catch my eye immediately, you go right past.
Yeah. Yeah. So some people I would say are the faster scrollers, but some people, especially maybe older people, they give it a second before they swipe, right? They kind of see what's that first few words. Now, let me ask you this. If I started my video with any of these things, how long would that take?
Longer than you'd like with a quick video. I just want to pop on here.
Do y'all know what the millennial pause is? I love this one. It makes me laugh so much.
What is it? Because I'm millennial and I want to know. I'll probably do it.
After I saw it, I cannot unsee it. Like anybody that you know is not a Gen Z, you'll notice does not do this. But the second you start seeing a millennial pause, you'll never not unsee it now. It is basically when somebody goes to start a video and they're like, hey guys, so there's like this little bitty 1 second pause, or like even sometimes 2 seconds or so, where they started the camera and they're just like, okay, guys, so I want to tell y'all a story. There's like just that little 1 second of a pause, and they call it the millennial pause. The beautiful thing about every single platform, y'all, is that you can go back and drag to cut that little crap out and start right where you're talking, right? Even if you say something, I do this all the time. I'll start a script and I'll go something stupid like, hey, y'all. And I like start the video. I'm like, I knew better than that. You know what I do? Drag, cut it right out. And now it goes to, so when I was right into the actual like story or whatever I was going to say, that's the beautiful thing about editing is when you say stupid stuff, you can cut it out.
One thing I noticed that I do, and I'm sure I've seen it with other people too, when we're doing stories and you're continuing the story on multiple stories, and I'll go, okay, so if somebody's like not paying attention, it's like, so as they tap through, I'm really trying to fix that.
Yeah, just say what you want to say. A lot of those are filler words. Pattern interrupt. So when people are in that doom scroll, right? Even you in that doom scroll, I want you guys to start stopping for a second and ask yourself, when you stop on a video, when you have a natural inclination to stop on a video, why did you stop? Go back and analyze and ask yourself, what was the reason for the pattern interrupt? Because you were scrolling, then all of a sudden you stopped for a second. Was it something they said? Was it a visual stimulation? Was it curiosity? Right? There's always a curiosity gap that's there, but it's basically the hook. And what people forget is that hooks can be different types of things. It's not just what you say. You can do a visual hook. You can do an audible. You can ask a question. You can speak directly to the audience where they're just like, oh, dang, she's talking to me. You can tell a story, right? Where they go, oh my God, I need to know what's going to happen in this story. You can share an opinion that goes against the grain. Now, this one, you need to be ready, because if you can't take the heat, don't get in the kitchen with social media, because if you say something that is an unpopular opinion, I hate Trump, and let me tell you why, right? Like, get ready, because you're going to get some strong responses, right? Or I think all realtors are worthless, and let me tell you why. Well, guess who's going to come to bat, right? All the realtors are going to jump in there to prove their value or to tell you how you're dumb. So it's fine. Those are great pieces of content, but just be ready for the type of reactions that you'll get. Newsjacking is super fun. So everybody talks about Taylor Swift, right? Or right now, everybody's talking about P. Diddy. I would stop and think for a second, how can you hijack those news stories, right? Like the Fed just cut rates. I just made a funny video that actually did really, really well, where I said I was outside of the Fed office and dancing, trying to get him to cut rates. And I got a bunch of comments of people who were like, it worked or whatever, because I knew they were probably going to cut rates that day. right? And it ended up doing pretty decent. So stop and think about what's going on in the news, what's happening right now, and is there a way that I can create a piece of content that is going to create or spark conversation, right? Every joke right now is all about baby oil and P. Diddy. So I'm thinking about that for a second. Like, can I do a funny video showing a property where there's baby oil everywhere? I don't know, right? There's just ways to kind of like tap into that and make it funny, right? Like you could be showing a house and you walk into every room and there's a gallon of baby oil in every room. I don't know. Like there's just funny ways or like different ways that you can kind of like think about what's going on and, talk about that. Tricky closings where you save the day, weird experiences. I mean, I've told some crazy stories and got all kind of reactions. I had to call CPS on a family. It was so gross that I went into this house one time. It was disgusting. And I told people about that. And I asked at the end of the video, did you think I did the right thing? Should I have done that? And all the comments are, yes, I would have done the same thing. Oh my God, you probably saved those kids, blah, 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 right? Sparks conversation. A visual hook, right, is something that you're doing that might spark curiosity, right? Maybe they see you walking toward a door and you're going to open it. Well, they want to know what's going to be on the other side, right? Things that are going to make them like, oh man, let me see what they're doing. Or like if you're doing something weird that doesn't make sense.
I've noticed an uptick in videos of people talking while they're doing other things like painting their nails or
Mhm.
chopping up vegetables or something where people are like distracted, but they're paying attention. Like, or if there's something weird, you've seen those people who have the like headphone microphones and they're all tangled and they have random crap stuck in them. Then you're looking at it like, why did they do that? But here you are watching the video, listening to what they say while you're trying to like figure out what they're doing. It's really smart.
Yeah. Yep. If y'all want to take a picture of this, here's some hook ideas for you guys. I wanted to include some helpful little things to get you guys started on videos. This is all a bunch of fun ways that you can make some videos. All kind of different styles of things, right? I put a get ready with me talking about prices, why you shouldn't list with a discount broker, luxury areas, concerned about a tenant if you're working with an investor, right? Those are all types of things that you guys can work with. The payoff is the meat of the video. If you don't give the payoff, you lose trust. Meaning, if I tell somebody, like if my script is, here are the top 5 date spots in Lafayette, Louisiana, and the last one may surprise you. And if that last one is Chipotle, people are not going to trust you, right? They're going to be like, I waited through this whole video for this. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you promise something, you better deliver. Okay? Because notice how that curiosity thing where you say, like, for instance, right? Here are the top 3 things, biggest mistakes that sellers make when selling their home. And the last one may surprise you. You better say something surprising, because if you say not pricing it right, I'm going to go, everybody says that. Like, I thought you had an insider tip for me, right? Like, make sure that your content is not going to lose trust with people, that you're actually giving them what you say. A call to action. It's not necessary, but I do think they are important to sprinkle in. Let me know in the comments below, right? What do you think? Right? DM me or comment a certain word if you want to use things like, what's it called? ManyChat, right? ManyChat to send people stuff or to get them to comment. That's a whole nother thing in itself. ManyChat is a huge thing, but download a freebie or get a copy of my home buyer's guide, my home seller's guide, my top, destinations for coffee in this area, blah, blah, blah. You can make a bunch of little freebie guys on Canva that are just like one sheet with your brand on it and your phone number that has like a list of all the best spots. Here, let's see what's coming up. We have Halloween coming up, right? So download my free guide of your best pumpkin patches in town, right? Or, Thanksgiving, download my free guide of, how to make a best, Thanksgiving dinner, whatever. I don't know, just our best places to eat out on Thanksgiving that are still open if you don't want to cook, right? Like you can make a million different types of things that are going to pull people in to where you got to get their information. Did I miss anything? So if I name if I name the top 5 places to get coffee, I'll always say, did I miss anything? Let me know in the comments. And somebody will always go, oh, I can't believe you didn't name what's it place. Their burgers are way better than the other one. Like that's the kind of conversation you want to spark. right? Or you could just do simply, look, if you like this sort of content, please like and follow, right? Simple. Optimize your profile is really, really important. Who are you? Who do you serve? Where are you? Call to action. Okay. Notice these profiles here. She has moved me to Tennessee, right? Marie Lee, Nashville Realtor, right? Notice all the keywords that she has in there. Gannon, the same thing. Gannon's a digital creator. If you guys don't follow him, I don't know if you can see it, Gannon.mayor. I would recommend going follow him because he is amazing for business tips and marketing, specifically for real estate agents. He offers all kind of freebies and like you can join his groups and all that stuff, but I love his content. He talks about how to make better videos and it's specifically geared toward real estate agents. And the beautiful thing is he's not even a realtor. He just knows digital marketing and how to help realtors to do it and get leads. So definitely recommend go and follow him. He's an awesome dude. I've worked with him quite a bit. But yeah, who are you? Who do you serve? Where are you? Just make sure you're including those keywords, like the fact that you're in real estate or realtor, and try to have them in your profile as much as possible because it's going to help people find you when they're searching. Closing the deal from leads to listings. Okay, so what we're here for, right? How do I turn all of this content stuff that Drake is talking about into actual things that turn into a sale, right? Video testimonials are a very, very strong one. I feel like these are very helpful for credibility. So many people do the testimonials of like, just like a picture of you and some words, right? Anybody can type that out. But I challenge you guys, if you could do video testimonials. Video testimonials are so powerful because it really puts you a step above of what everybody else is doing. The fact that you actually have a person standing there in front of you talking about, it was great working with you or whatever. And it doesn't have to be this big professional thing. I'll tell you, when I go to closings, I bring my microphone with me and I bring my phone. And what I do is as I'm walking out of a closing, I'll ask the client, hey, how was the experience working with me? And they'll go, oh, it was great. Did you enjoy the team? I mean, you know, what did you think of everything? Oh, you were great. You know, everybody was super responsive. It was so easy. We sold fast. Awesome. Was there anything you would change about the experience? Or, you know, would you recommend me, you know, to friends or family? Absolutely. We would recommend you. Nah, we can't have any complaints. It was great. Okay, awesome. I'll tell them everything you just said. I'm going to take my camera. I'm going to give you a microphone. Just pin it to your shirt. I want you to say the exact same things you just said, right? I was like, we have unlimited film. I will edit this to make sure you sound great, and I will show you what it looks like before I ever even post it or share it anywhere. Does that sound fair? And they may go, ooh. I've had a few people go, no, I don't want to do it. But I've had quite a few people say yes. And they're like, okay, I'll do it. And so I film, I show it to them. Oh, I don't like it. That sounded weird. Let me do it one more time. Okay. I do it, I film. Okay, great. Now I have this, I take it, I edit it, I put it on social media, right? And I can save that forever. That can go on my website, like that can go on my YouTube, anywhere, right? Those are really important to have. Get video testimonials. Have clear and easy ways of how you want people to connect with you, right? Don't put email me, DM me, call me, text me. Like, don't put it all there because then, you know, I don't know what you want me to do, right? Be very specific in the ways you want people to comment or connect with you. If it's text you, text me, right? Put your phone number and put text me everywhere, right? Be very specific. If you want them to book a call with you, here's my link to my calendar, book a call with me, put that everywhere, right? Everything is like kindergartners. If you give them too many options, they don't know what to do and they're going to freeze up. So be very specific. This is how you connect with me. This is what I want you to do. Okay. Getting them off the platform and into your email and CRM. So newsletters, drip campaigns, mailers, webinars, community events. These are all things that will get people off the social media platform. Because that's the thing, y'all, if Instagram, if TikTok decides, you know, TikTok gets banned, you've lost all of those followers and all of those people. You don't own them, right? The platforms really own them. They're only your followers. So your goal should be is, how can I get people off of these platforms and into my CRM, my phone, my email newsletter, anything of that nature? Because then they become a contact list that I actually own, right? So DM people, comment, engage. The platforms don't like selfish creators. If you guys don't know this, I have made a conscious effort to actually start like commenting and like actually engaging and sharing people's posts more. And almost immediately, I can start to see my videos and my follows start to increase. So if you can schedule maybe like 5 minutes, 3 times a day, where you just get on one of the platforms that you're trying to grow, or a few of them. You could do Instagram, you could do TikTok. Just pick one of those platforms that you want to grow on and start watching people's stories, comment on them, like them, share them, vote on polls. Comments are so powerful. Like I noticed the second I started commenting on stuff, that's when I usually get follows, because people see you. And they may not the first time, they may not the second time, but once you continue to engage, they likely will follow you because of your engaging with them. If you go follow all these million creators or these big influencers, they likely will not follow you back. So I encourage you to find smaller people that are local, right? Or local businesses that are on the smaller scale, so they will follow you back. And then this is just some sites that you can use for, you know, converting people and getting them off of social media. Sorry, I know we're running out of time. I'm about at the end here, but Constant Contact, Mailchimp. I personally use ConvertKit. Klaviyo is another one, but it basically, you want sign up forms, right? Get my guide. You can download it here, right? Join my newsletter, start a newsletter list. What do you put in a newsletter? Anything you want, right? What is my return on investment in social media? I get that question a lot from a lot of real estate agents. Well, I don't really have one, right? I just know that 90% of my business is coming from social media. Now, the amount of money that I spend on it is crazy, but I also love what I do, right? So it's fun for me. But I will say I'm not buying Zillow leads for $3,500 a month or $5,000 a month, whatever people are paying for that crap. And then they are telling me when they want to go see properties. That's not how it works. I'm in control of my schedule because people come to me and then I dictate how things work. Here's what we're going to do. Here's what I propose, Mr. Seller. I'm going to come by on Thursday. We're going to look at your property, or Mr. Buyer, whatever. It helps you stay top of mind with past clients, build community, expand your brand. Referrals are a big one, agent to agent nationwide. Look, if agents see you being active and doing all of these things, it makes you a lot more creditable, right? Credible. I mean, I'll just say this personally, if I was going to refer somebody across the country and I go and look at their social media platform and they haven't posted anything, or they're not doing anything on social media, I likely would not recommend them as a seller or a seller. Maybe for a buyer, because it's not quite as important for a buyer's agent. They might be a great buyer's agent. But if you're a seller or a listing agent, I likely would not want to refer somebody that's not using social media to help market their listings or their clients, right? So really, really think about that. If you guys want to connect with me on social media, I love social media and I love people. Ignore the other part. This is a presentation I used before, but if you have questions, comments, or anything like that, feel free. You can call, text me, email me. I love talking social media and I love helping real estate agents. I'm on all of the social media platforms. Drake Absher should be pretty easy for me to pop up on any of those things. But questions, I don't want to take up everything.
No, I think this was
Yeah,
really
Drake.
good. It was good. Oh, Dan, do you have a question?
I do actually. So I definitely don't, even though I have the answer to the consistency question, that doesn't mean that I do it. I always do as I say, not as I do.
Yeah.
But so I do post and I try to put educational stuff out there. Do you focus on any sort of like length of videos? Like I don't do much on stories. That's something I can do, especially for the more, I guess, kind of personality stuff. You know, like you guys brought up like the dishes, you know, kind of, for lack of better terms, mundane stuff that somebody will find interesting. And obviously that's going to be pretty quick clips. But for your more long-term, short-term video posts, I mean, do you try and shoot for a target? I mean, from the little research I did before trying to create, I try to keep everything at 90 seconds because I think that's Instagram's limit, so that I can kind of just take that video and push it on, you know, multiple platforms pretty easily without having to cut multiple of the same content.
I would say too long. I would go 60
Yeah.
seconds or less when creators are trying to get to know you, because you're trying to build trust with them, right? And also, I would say an effective script is very hard to keep people's attention for 90 seconds. Think about that, right? Like, you're more likely to get through an entire video the shorter it is, especially if it has a really strong point of view or like a really strong scripting to it. So I would argue you should actually be starting with 30 to 45-second videos that are educational. Like, give me the meat, make it exciting, get through it, done. Now you're building some trust, and I might want to follow you if I see a video another time from you. If you're going to do 90 seconds, you better know how to hell write a script, right? Think about that. How many videos do you stop and watch for a full 90 seconds? It better be engaging and have constant things that are keeping me on, right? So definitely think about that. I think the shorter, the better. Do 30 to 45 seconds up to 60 seconds. That should be your sweet spot.
Yeah, I think I just got to find how to optimize it, because even the 90 seconds, like the type of videos that I'm putting out there, I find myself, like I set a little timer, like a stopwatch on my watch, so I don't go over. And sometimes even it's like a minute 35, and I'm like, okay, I can probably edit out 5 seconds somewhere. So I just got to find how to take the content that I'm doing and shorten it then.
Yep. Any other questions? Nope. I appreciate you guys having me. This was fun. I love teaching social media. I'm passionate about it. But yeah, if you guys ever have any questions, or if you want feedback on a video, send them to me, like DM me or whatever. And I would love to break it down with you and see if I have some suggestions. Be willing to put it out there and get feedback from other people, because it's going to help you improve. Don't be embarrassed. Like, I go back, if you want to feel good about yourself, go back and look at my oldest videos that you can find on like TikTok and Instagram, and like, you're going to be like, wow, okay, I see the difference, right? Like, things change, and like, you're supposed to get better with time, and the only way you do that is by getting feedback. So, be willing to learn and get better.
Thank you. This was awesome.
Thanks.
All right. And did you drop your contact info in the chat in case anybody wants to reach out?
Yeah, let me do this.
Lots of notes. This is great.
That's my phone number. Here's all. Paste this in here for y'all.
Thank you so much.
Of course, that's all the social media links. If you want to copy and paste,
Awesome.
you can follow me or get on any of those.
Perfect. Well,
All
thank
right.
you very much. You have a great week.
Y'all too, guys. Go kill it.
Bye.
Bye.